Hey guys, what's good? Welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. This is Bolt from the Blue Tarot. And, if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know what's good, Sam, I'm watching you so you can tell me. Um, you caught me a little off guard. I don't have any cards or anything. I don't really feel connected to spirit. Just kidding. Look at all these cards I already pulled for you. Look at these cards. Look at this card. Look at this zebra. That's you. All right, so I got you. Let's get into this. Before drawing these cards, I kind of tuned in for some symbols, signs, synchronicities, anything that might be useful to you, that might indicate, yeah, this reading is definitely for me, or even, you know, some additional layer of meaning you can add to this. If none of these make sense to you, that's fine. They also don't make sense to me. This can still be for you. In every story, there's something to learn, so do tune in and listen. So first thing I was getting was like something about a sweater cuff, like one of these expandable sweater cuffs. So there's something about you, maybe you, having the ability to expand and contract. I don't know. I saw a beautiful slice of pumpkin pie on like a table in a diner. And on top of the pie, there was like a dollop of maybe whipped cream or Cool Whip or something. And then I saw a Twizzler, like the original Twizzlers, the red ones. Um, I saw a dragonfly, but it was made of something like maybe stone or glass, like a stained glass dragonfly. Tarzan, the animated movie Tarzan. And then I was my attention was brought to this rug that my family had as a kid, and I would always see faces in the rug, but no one else could see faces in the rug. So I think there's something here about like a moment when you might have been zoning out and looking at what appears to others as randomness, but you see a pattern. You see a face where other people only see like intertwining plants. So yeah, pay attention to those moments when you're zoning out and you see something significant, like something stands out to you, whether it's otherwise just like a nonsense pattern. Anyways, yeah. So for this reading, I drew like my phone was dead, so I couldn't record, so I just drew some cards while it was charging. But I drew this card for you, the zebra. Look at that. That's you. So the zebra is extraordinary. It is nonconformity. It is social network. All right, and if those things seem at odds, well, we're going to get into it because this reading has a lot to say about it. But yeah, let me just put this here for you for now while I read to you about the zebra. There we go. So this book comes with little affirmations for all the animals. I started with those. The ones for the zebra are they're so BA, you guys. I will quietly light an explosion that shifts the old paradigm. How about that? How about that for a mantra? Again, I will quietly light an explosion that shifts the old paradigm. I sing and dance to my own tune. I am not afraid to be myself. I am a unique individual, and what is right for others is not always right for me. I'll just read a little bit of this. The zebra longs to be part of something bigger than itself, and so do you. Believe in your uniqueness and your new visions. They are inspired by a higher force. These are exciting times. Trust that you are part of something extraordinary, and know that you are on the vanguard of a whole new consciousness. Because zebras can't be domesticated, they symbolize nonconformity and independence. People who follow the status quo rarely change that which needs changing. but you have pulled the zebra because you are here to transform your world. Align with the spirit and knowledge of this distinctive creature. This fortuitous relationship will lead you to the gates of providence and a new understanding of what we can manifest here on earth, divine love and care for all. So there's something in this reading about you choosing to be uniquely yourself, but all parts of yourself. And in so doing, you bring about, this new world order, this new earth, if not for the world, then certainly for you. But we anchor this in, all of our ideas about new earth. Like when we choose to be uniquely ourselves, we quietly light an explosion that shifts the old paradigm. And that's what you're doing. All right, let's see how. So the first cards I pulled were from this Modern Witch tarot deck, and this is by Lisa Sturl. I love the colors on here. I love the art. I think it's, it's very closely inspired by the Smith-Waite tarot cards, but it's a beautiful adaptation. I love the mixture of bright and pastel colors. Anywho, so these were 3 cards I drew to begin with. And they're all facing outwards from this central card, the 3 of Cups. This can be about celebration, gatherings, but the energy I got from this was there is a group, and this could be your own friend group, or this could be society. There's a group, and what this group likes to do is I feel like they're at a festival here. You can see some tents in the background. We go to festivals and we dress in a certain way, and you show up and you're they're like, what's with the yellow jacket? And you're like, I like the yellow jacket. I just thought, and they're like, well, that we only dress in these colors. We have a specific palette as a friend group. You're like, yeah, I know. I just thought this was more me. And, you lean into your own uniqueness. What happens here is people are going to nope out real fast. But that's okay, because these people aren't for you. If you are yourself, and they don't like it so much that they can't be around you, or they just kind of fall away because you're choosing yourself, then that's for the best. Because this leads you on your own to come up with this epiphany, this self-realization. And to clarify, this reading was the Ace of Pentacles. So what you realize is this opportunity. I feel like it's within you. And you can see it when you choose yourself. And these conformist energies are no longer around, making you feel like this is you. Actually, it wasn't even the yellow jacket. I like to dress like this. I like to tuck my shirt in. I like to carry a backpack everywhere. And I like to go hiking. I don't like to go to festivals. And you find this jewel within you. It is your own golden heart. All right, so I drew some more from the first occult tarot. What we've got here in progression, the 2 of Cups. We have the 8 of Swords. another Ace of Pentacles, and the Flaming Sword, which is like the tarot, or the the Tower card. So just take those in for a minute. I think what is happening here is you are this warrior. Let me read to you what the book says about this. It's short, but I think it says a lot about you. So this is you, and I'm so sorry, Robert M. Place, the artist of this deck. Robert does some beautiful depictions of the human form, and I have to cover them up for YouTube. But anyway, the author says, this is a defiant and self-confident young woman, a female warrior. So whatever you're doing in choosing yourself, you're going against some norms. And you might be upsetting some people, but that's okay, because they're not for you. And what you're doing is you're looking towards this sacred union, this Two of Cups. And this can be, I'm not getting like another person from this. I'm getting you choosing yourself, but this can be like the integration of divine masculine and divine feminine within you. This can be, you and your inner child. I'm getting like a big, juicy, like colorful, silly energy for this reading. That's why, I started out this reading the way I did, because like, I think that's what it is for a lot of you, is inner child. Because your inner child is like, maybe you went to a school with a school uniform and you showed up in this yellow jacket anyway. They're like, this isn't part of the uniform. You're like, yeah, I know. I like it. That's your inner child. Your inner child does not want to be sat at a desk. Anyway, so the way this reading is arrayed, it's like you choose yourself and your inner child, and then like facing the other way is source, like the gods. This is the Eye of Horus, the sun. This is protection from the Most High, right? So as you choose yourself and face towards the sacred union, source has your back. And the way that the Eye of Horus is looking is towards these folks. And I feel like when you choose yourself, God, source, your spirit team, everyone who has your back in the spirit realm is going to be like, all right, now it's time for you guys to get like GTFO, get out of here. You're not wanted. And they're like, ooh, holy moly. Like, and you and Source are just burning the place to the ground, but it's like a cleansing fire to bring in the new. You're like, this old kingdom that you're used to, no more. This is new earth. Like, get out of here if you're not with the agenda. So this is awesome. Like, hats off to you. We think of our inner children as like needing protection, needing cherishing, but sometimes our inner children are just like, if you let them lead, they are the bravest. Like, a lot of our inner children do not give one hoot about what we ought to do to fit in, what other people's standards are. It's like, no, I'm here to have fun and be myself, and this is what I want to do. So I drew some advice cards from my story deck, and again we get Miguel playing the guitar instead of making shoes, and this is from the movie Coco. I've talked about this a couple of times. You guys really have to start being your authentic selves so I can pull different cards. That, or I have to write more about this concept. But yeah, I think in the context of this reading, this is very much about like choosing what lights you up and choosing to do it and be it and just like revel in it, like a kid just like sticking their hand into dirt, and just like get in there, or clay or something. Like mold the clay, be the clay. What does Miss Frizzle say? Uh, Take action, make mistakes, get dirty. Oh, this is gonna annoy me. I gotta look it up. This is a perfect time for a Miss Frizzle quote. If you haven't heard of the Magic School Bus, check it out. She says, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. So now is the time for that. And then the other two advice cards are Odysseus strapped to the mast, beeswax in his crew's ears. And this is from the Odyssey, mythological Homeric tale from ancient Greece. And then Rapunzel in the tower. So with this one, there's a couple of things that this can be, but I think for you, there's something here about like inner child, yes, but shadow as well. There's like, let's reimagine this as like you, your inner child, and like your shadow, and you guys are like, cheers. We're gonna, like, this is gonna be one hell of a party. Because whatever you're doing, it's authentically you, but it might also be a little bit shadowy. Like Odysseus is a very like cerebral, mental hero. He gets out of stuff by like scheming and outsmarting. There's very like there's a very shadowy energy to Odysseus because he doesn't fight like the normal Greek heroes like Achilles, where it's about just strength on the battlefield or like the nobility of sport sort of a thing. He's like, oh no, I found a way to cheat, and that's what we're gonna do because it's easy, and and like it'll be fun, you know. So Odysseus and his crew are sailing home from the Trojan War, and he's trying to sail back to Ithaca because he's the king of Ithaca, a Greek island. And they have to pass the sirens. So Odysseus knows that the sirens will sing their song and cause all of the men on the ship to go insane, and they will, steer their boat right into the rocks, and the sirens will presumably devour them or whatever. So he tells all of his crew to put beeswax in their ears so that they can't, like earplugs, they can't hear the siren's song. But he tells his crew to strap him to the mast with rope. So strap him to this big pole in the middle of the ship, and he will keep his ears open because he knows that no man has ever heard the siren's song and lived. And he wants to know what it sounds like. Because it's very pleasurable. And it's like a also kind of a sexual thing, right? The siren's methods are very like sensual and alluring. And he wants to experience this, right? So Odysseus is that kind of hero. And you might also be this kind of hero where you're like, what I want is a little bit shadowy. It's a little, I want to like, I want a little bit of a taste, And sometimes this can be part of our purpose. It can teach us something. Our shadow has things to teach us, even about our highest destiny path. So these together, like Rapunzel in the tower, all this says on the backside is, it's time to let your hair down. So these two together, there's something about like, I don't know, maybe you just want to go dancing on your own, like not with a friend group that you normally would or something, But there's a part of you that's like, no, that's weird, or what do I have to gain from that? I'll just say in. But the shadowy part of you is like, no, I want to go dancing, and I want to wear what I want to wear, and I want to get noticed, and I want to like tear it up. You should. You should let your hair down. Maybe this is literal. Maybe you normally have it, up and tight, and you need to just like let it down, let loose a little bit. Sometimes this can teach us things about ourselves that we wouldn't otherwise learn because we don't allow ourselves to be in this kind of like this space of the shadow having so much reign. But as long as we lead with our higher selves, lead with the light, but you can work with the shadow to learn what's going on. I heard someone say that your higher self and your shadow have been paired up on purpose, like, and I just picture like a buddy cop movie, it's like you two were chosen for a reason, and there's some way in which you can work together which is completely unique, that is 100% you, and it is your pentacle, right? This uniqueness, this special sauce. um, what is special sauce, like mayo and ketchup? So like your shadow, your higher self, and your inner child are all like mixing these sauces together, and together they are this thing that no one has ever tasted, and they're like, what is this? And you're like, special sauce. And they're like, what does that mean? And you're like, it's me, I'm the special sauce. All right, so this was such a fun reading. I love this juicy energy I'm getting from you. Lean into your self-confidence, even if even if you feel like, no, I don't dress like that, I don't behave like that, I hunch over or whatever. Stand tall, be self-confident, because um, once you are, you'll leave behind all of these people who are like, oh no, we don't behave like that, who don't see value in it, and they're gonna get cast out of your world, and for a little while there, you might have no one. Anyone who's been on a spiritual awakening, spiritual path knows this. At a certain point, you're sitting in this castle and you're like, oh, is it just me? But if you keep authentically being yourself and shining your light, you will attract the people who think you are pure gold, because you are. All right, guys, this was awesome. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for sharing your beautiful energy. It's snowing here where I am today, so I'm just sending you like the coziest vibes and encouragement to continue being yourself, and to what is it? It's so quietly light an explosion that shifts the old paradigm. Do it. You, your inner child, your shadow, your highest self, you are the special sauce. Love you guys.